managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. JodysAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote. Get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine, a very slight chance of seeing a shower or storm, a high in the middle to upper 80s. Clear skies tonight. It will be cooler and less humid, an overnight low in the mid to upper 50s. Sunshine on Saturday, a high rather on the mid to upper 70s. And Sunday, plenty of sunshine, high temperature Sunday in the upper 70s to low 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your morning.
ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hit.line.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Well,
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My hot dog. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Good morning from Granny's Kitchen in Stillwater, Oklahoma. It is a beautiful day around the campus of Oklahoma State University. We are right now 24 hours from kickoff of Arkansas-Oklahoma State for the first time since 1980. And halftime is live right here in downtown Stillwater at Granny's today. I'm Phil Elson with my partner Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, and Colton Little producing the show today. And Matt, I'm ready for a nap already. Had my meal. They brought me the Cowboy skillet, and yeah, I think I might be done for the day.
Yeah, happy Friday. Football's in the air. Had a game last night. Talk about 2 talented teams. But I had some eggs, some bacon, and some potatoes. Is this a mango smoothie? It's almost gone, whatever it was. But yeah, it's been pretty good already.
I think they'll keep it coming all throughout the show. Woo. We didn't really plan this until a couple of days ago. If you want to know where to go eat anytime the Razorbacks are on the road, Ty Richardson's going to do some research for you. I think he's going to be doing Arkansas game day tomorrow here when they open up at 6 o'clock. So this is definitely a place for Razorback fans to gather and congregate for an early kickoff tomorrow. Maybe a place to
Mimosa, Bloody Mary.
They've got all that. That's right. As early as you want. They will certainly they'll certainly hook you up. Maybe a little something extra in the coffee because they do have the full bar over here.
You could put a little Bailey's in. What was that bacon strip when I got here? The first thing I got here, that was
sweet and spicy bacon strip.
There you go. You got to get one of those.
It's the first thing that I was told about when I walked in here was the sweet and spicy bacon strips. It's like, you're in a real place that can serve breakfast when they have breakfast appetizers. I mean, not every breakfast place does that. But yeah, sweet and spicy bourbon bacon is what they brought
That's
over.
what it was.
Not too sweet, not too spicy, and certainly not too much bourbon either.
Man, that was good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's a big menu. Big menu for a big man and a big appetite. Yeah, Cowboy Skillet was good, and yeah, I won't be able to make it over here tomorrow for breakfast. This is one of those towns where the hotels basically sell out when the schedule is announced and, the kickoff time. And we knew this kickoff time before just about any other kickoff time. When ABC set their schedule, wasn't up to the SEC really to do it. And, we still don't know all the kickoff times for the SEC games. We've known this one for a while. And at least the hotel group that I stay with was all sold out. So I end up 30 minutes out of town, which is practically next door here in Stillwater. But you've been here for more than a day now, right?
Yeah, it's a nice town. They had this little Mexican joint right next to a Five Guys, so I went and got Mexico and Five Guys. I was a fat kid yesterday and watched like an episode of Back to the Future while I was there was 2 episodes on while I was flipping back with the Chiefs-Ravens game. And you talk about just unbelievable athletic.
It was a great game.
I was more impressed with the 2-time league MVP Lamar Jackson than I ever could have been. Like he just total control. Get him a little help, and he's going to be all right.
I don't know if there's a more fun matchup of quarterbacks than you could see in any football game. College, NFL, and really going back years. When you think of the athleticism, the creativity of both of them, and it was really on display yesterday. But you're right. I mean, I love watching Mahomes. And don't get me wrong here. I mean, Mahomes has the Super Bowl.
You're going to take Mahomes over Lamar Jackson.
You will.
Yeah.
But watching Lamar Jackson is
how fun is he?
Incredible.
Yeah.
That is a guy that moves really, really easily. And it hit me a few times too. I know Chuck and Bo brought it up this morning. I mean, how many Razorback fans do you think are watching that and are like, all right, that guy played for Bobby Petrino, and the guy who's now playing for Bobby Petrino, and you didn't want to put. I mean, you can't put Taylor Green on Lamar Jackson's level.
They're different quarterbacks.
How do you see them as different?
They're different quarterbacks. Well, Lamar Jackson is a pure pocket passer that can run, that can be athletic. Lamar Jackson checks every single box when it comes to what can he do in the pocket. Then he can do extra. Taylor Green's trying to learn how to be a passer. He's an athlete learning how to be a quarterback. Not that he can't get there. That's where you want to be. But no, Lamar Jackson's a top 3 quarterback in the league, and you can't really deny it.
Well, you certainly can't. Also, maybe like dream a little bit and think, well, maybe Green. Again, you can't be like, wow, Heisman Trophy, top overall pick, NFL MVP. Maybe not like that, but can improve under Bobby Petrino, and tomorrow's the biggest game that he's ever played.
No, Taylor Green, the thing you like about Green is he's a big, strong, athletic kid. He's a real 4.5 guy. That's the thing. It's not somebody who says, hey, I run a 4.5 and he runs a 4.8. He can make all the throws. You see his growth. You're going to see him grow over the next 2 years, and as he gets his footwork down with his upper body. And to see, it's going to be fun to see. You don't get to see it as much anymore with this transfer portal, but Green has the potential to be an NFL draft pick. There's just stuff to work on, but he's got the talent.
He is a project, though, right? I mean, I think coming in here, and anybody that knows they're eligible for the draft would love to go to the draft under the right circumstances once they get around to it. But it does feel like he's a 2-year project.
Yeah. Well, it's just what I always say. Quarterbacks need reps. Do you know Anthony Richardson is making his 17th start ever as a quarterback?
Played a lot of football.
The best thing for Taylor, and the coolest thing now with this NIL is these kids can make $1 million, $2 million, whatever per year. So you're not sitting there and then you're waiting to go, and like you see guys leave early. They would leave. But now you're going to see guys stay later, stay longer, and improve, and then it elevate their game at the next level. No question about it. If Taylor Green I think, has some of the best hands on the team.
Man, I mean, you look at what they've got now in Xavier Worthy.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean,
is that
just,
a Tyreek Hill replacement?
That's
It just
what I was
took him
going
a
to say.
couple
Kind
years,
of
huh?
feels exactly like the same kind of player. And the issues they had offensively last year, and I mean, they made the point throughout the broadcast, and it was so right, that the Chiefs last year were carried by their defense to get into the playoffs. You know,
see that stat? They played 4 of the top 6 NFL scoring teams last year in the playoffs and held them to 15.8 points a game. Whoa. Yeah, 26 years old is the defense. They got the second youngest defense in the NFL.
I don't know if they're going to have to be quite as good this year because I think there's some more weapons around Mahomes right now.
God, he's fun. When he's got it going on and he settles in a little bit, he can make all the throws.
Did they get lucky, though? Did they? I mean, this last play to Isaiah Likely in the back of the end zone, that was – man, I mean, when you zoom in on it, it looked like just a tiny little bit of the edge of his shoe is on the white line. Just the slightest little atom was on the chalk. So I agreed with the call. I mean, I felt awful for him because he really did make a great catch. And that catch reminded me of Santonio Holmes in the corner of the end zone in the Super Bowl against Arizona. It's just in that case, his feet were in bounds. It didn't look like it to me. What'd you think?
Yeah, no, I didn't get to see that play. I'd already hit the snooze button. But I did see his long touchdown run when it was it was a catch when Lamar was scrambling out, scramble drill, the defender's not looking. So if the defensive guy's not looking, you throw it at the back of his head because it's pass interference or your guy catches it. Mm-hmm. Then they didn't make a tackle, and he was athletic. What a weapon as a tight end, because I'll be honest with you, I don't remember Isaiah Likely last year.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either, but it did feel – and I felt the same way at the end of the Arkansas State UCA game. Because they gave A-State that touchdown they didn't deserve, but they still had one more play. The Ravens were about to line up to go for 2. Instead of kicking the extra point and going right into overtime, they were about to line up to go for 2. So you would have had at that moment that's it, win or go, get into the end zone or go home. I guess that's what happened anyway. It just feels a little bit, it's like you're robbed from a moment when the game is decided by replay. Independent of whether or not the call is right or wrong, and they got it wrong in Jonesboro, and they got it right in Kansas City, it's just you're waiting, you're on edge. It's just like waiting for the referee to tell you whether or not you can actually celebrate or turn the TV off at that moment.
Would you almost want just to have like 3 cameras out there and say, look, we're going to have these cameras. They're going to be kind of basic. We're not going to get all NASA specific with these cameras. We're just going to make sure we can see it and kind of just play for the love of the game.
Triangulate a little bit on it.
We're not worried about that one blade of grass. If it's camera, if you see it, it's a play. I mean, but we have technology, so you're supposed to use it, I guess.
That's the same idea for like the what they call the neighborhood play in baseball around second base, where the infielder takes the throw while he's straddling the bag but not really on it. You got to be on the bag now. You got to be on the bag. I guess if we're doing replay, you got to every little millimeter of the field counts.
I liked it better when the guy could slide in however he wanted to, and you had to be an athlete instead of now the guy has to stop and kind of get out of your throwing lane because it's like, okay, I'm out.
Or just go down and get out of the way. I mean, there can't be any more.
Where's Albert Bell when you need him?
Where's Hal McRae when you need him? Now, you're right about Albert Bell. If you want to see somebody that made a living out of literally not sliding on double play balls at second base, Hal McRae, I think he could have been a linebacker or a safety. I don't think he was the size to be a linebacker, but he practically tackled guys like Ken Harrelson and Mark Belanger. So they did take that out of the game. It's too bad too, but a little bit safer. It's going to be a wild Friday at halftime here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com because we've got all sorts of Benedicts and skillets and gravies and fried chicken and waffles going back and forth. So we're going to try not to trip any of the wonderful wait staff while we're doing this show here, as they've brought us in here, invited us, and fed us. We do have regular guests. Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen will join us at 1:15. Jason Carroll, former sports director at Pig Trail Nation and KNWA, now the man at the top of OSU Max, which is Oklahoma State's version of Hogs Plus. He'll join us in about an hour to talk about the Cowboys, and in just a moment we're going to give a call to Aaron Torres and get the national perspective on this game and other college football games across the country, plus your calls and texts as we go throughout halftime today at 877-377-6963. Stay with halftime. Aaron Torres joins us right after this.
This is halftime.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with the exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
This summer at Hardee's, the BLT gets an upgrade with the new Frisco BLT Angus Burger and Frisco BLT hand-breaded chicken sandwich. The classic flavors of bacon, lettuce, and tomato, atop a famous charbroiled burger or signature hand-breaded chicken sandwich, all between two thick slices of toasted sourdough. Only for a limited time at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Don't miss A Night of Hope, an evening with John Calipari, Tuesday, September 17th at Pinnacle Country Club in Rogers. The evening gets underway at 6:15 with a VIP meet and greet and cocktail party for premium sponsors. At 6:30, hear Razorbacks coach Cal with special guest Joe Klein. Tickets, tables, and sponsorships are all available by logging on to teamlukehopeforminds.org. A Night of Hope, supporting children after brain injury, September 17th. Log on now, teamlukehopeforminds.org.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nuys work to give all of their patients a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5501 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farm. Now offering same-day crowns, 226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Did your 6 weeks with your kids this summer fly by? Is your ex on another tropical vacation while you're working 2 jobs to pay your child support? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Arkansas law on custody and child support has changed, and those changes could benefit you. So stop scrolling through her vacation pictures and protect your rights today. Call me at 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Your Honor, my son deserves this kid.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at precisiondoornwa.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
You know how hard it is to say no to more coffee? I just did it again. I think I might be a little over caffeinated after driving from 6:30 in the morning and getting here, and already drinking 3 more cups of coffee. But that helps for radio.
That's right.
Actually helps for radio. We go to Aaron Torres on our hotline, host of the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast from Aaron Torres Media, also Fox Sports Radio. AT, I think I'm on my 6th cup of coffee. I'm at Granny's Kitchen in Stillwater. This is where Arkansas and Oklahoma will battle tomorrow at 11 o'clock our time. I know that's a game that you'll have on your eyes as well. And, man, it really feels like this is an opportunity for Arkansas to, I think, show that they can play physical football, the kind of football they'll need to play once they start playing SEC teams.
Zero doubt. First of all, guys, excited to be with you as always. Phil, enjoy Stillwater. Make sure you mix in some water there, okay? We don't need you, we need to get you through the weekend. But no, I'm as intrigued about this game as pretty much any, and it's for all the reasons everybody knows why. Is that listen, I don't think there's a lot of teams that maybe can make like a national statement on Saturday. I think, Texas, Michigan, whoever wins that game, one of them's awesome. I don't think one of them is like the worst team that's ever existed. Whatever. I don't think that a result in Kentucky, Tennessee, or Kentucky, South Carolina fundamentally changes how we feel about those teams. I do think Arkansas can make a statement, though. Obviously, Oklahoma State is a good team, but listen, the defense wasn't very good last year. They gave up plenty of yards to South Dakota State, and I know that South Dakota State is quite literally the best team at the FCS level. But, Oklahoma isn't a team without flaws, even though they're in the top 25. I think top 15, as a matter of fact. So I'm intrigued. I'm curious. You don't want to oversell what we saw in week 1 against Pine Bluff. But, listen, we did see a lot of good football from Arkansas, and I am hopeful that it continues tomorrow in Stillwater.
Hey, Aaron, with the Texas-Michigan game, I know you brought that up. If Texas beats Michigan, is there a way that you think you could see them jumping to number 1 in the country?
Michigan, Texas. Listen, I don't know how all these pollsters are going to react. I mean, the good thing is, listen, we don't really have to live in this hypothetical world anymore where if Texas was in the Big 12, we don't have to wonder how good they would really be, blah, 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 this and that. They play Georgia here in a few weeks, about a month from now, as a matter of fact. So we're going to find out pretty soon. I would find it hard to believe that they would jump everybody, including Georgia, barring, of course, teams losing, just because Georgia has that great win over Clemson. But I think they'd certainly get some votes, and I think they'd be in the conversation. And the one thing I will say, again, you don't want to overreact to one game in week 1, but was very impressed by Texas, not only with the win, but especially with the way their defense played against Colorado State, a team that can move the football, have proven they can move the football. But that is one, obviously, it'll be a 2-screen kind of day at 11 a.m. Central Time, because I will have that Hogs game on, as well as obviously the big one, Michigan Texas.
One of the things about this point of the season that we used to think if you lose a game, you're out of the playoff race. And I think right now there's one team that's really eliminated, and it's Florida State. But when you're a league like the Big 12, and you've got one of your leading teams that could win it in Oklahoma State playing against an SEC team, this is an important game for that league specifically, as well, of course, as it is for Oklahoma State, because. Look, if you win the Big 12 championship game, you're in and you get a bye. But there is the going thought that the ACC right now looks like a one-bid league. Does the Big 10 get 4? Does the SEC get 4? You get your group of 5, and you just kind of wonder, the Big 12, would this be a year they could get 3 potentially if the ACC only gets 1? A game like this is big, especially for a team like the Cowboys if they don't win the Big 12 championship.
Oh, there's no doubt. And listen, I think we all like what we saw against Arkansas or against Arkansas Pine Bluff the other day. But, realistically, I hope I'm not, being too negative here, but I think a best-case scenario for Arkansas is a middle-of-the-pack team. So it's not in the SEC, that is. So it's not if you lose this game, it's almost like the Miami situation. It's like if Miami had lost that game last week, which they obviously didn't, you're not only losing, but you're losing to a team that we mostly view as a bottom half of the SEC type team. And I think it's the same with Oklahoma State, where if they don't win the Big 12, if they are, say, 10-2 or 10-3 with a loss in the Big 12 championship game, if Arkansas does not perform well in the SEC, that could be a loss that kind of hangs with Oklahoma State all season long. And so I am fascinated, Phil, especially for the Big 12 and the ACC. You have very few opportunities against the other two power conferences, if you want to call those the Power Four. You just don't get a lot of opportunities against, the SEC, specifically the Big Ten, whatever, to really prove that you are on equal footing. And so I think if you're Oklahoma State, you can't not take advantage of that. By the way, I think NC State's got a little bit of that on Saturday night. And lastly, what I'll say is, I know I'm going a little bit long here, I also think it's kind of an interesting conversation with Texas and Michigan as well, where you have, say, if Michigan loses to Texas, Texas goes on to win the SEC. I think Michigan's would be rewarded if they were, say, 9-3 and going up against somebody else that's 9-3 that maybe didn't challenge themselves in the out of conference. So we're all kind of resetting our brains as to what you need to do and where you need to do it and all that. But I think to your point, the results that we see in week 1, week 2 are going to still have season-long implications.
Aaron, I want to get your thoughts on that USC-LSU game last week. I thought possibly USC could have been the most impressive team in my eyes, and then with LSU laying another egg in week 1, how do you see those two teams going this year?
Yeah, I thought USC could win. But I thought even if they won, even if the defense was a little bit better, it would still have to be in that 37-31, 37-34 type range. Listen, I'm with you, Matt. That was as impressive a performance, I think, in week 1 as you could possibly find. Not just because USC beat LSU and all that, but because it was the defense that really carried them. And like I said, I thought that, I thought USC would be better because if you remember, after Caleb Williams opted out of the bowl game last year, the kid Miller Moss played in the bowl game and threw 6 touchdown passes. And you kind of said, okay, Lincoln Riley, for all the criticism, he still knows how to develop an offense, develop quarterbacks, et cetera. But can the defense be improved enough where they're competitive? And so all of a sudden, it is interesting. I know we say one game doesn't mean as much as it used to. I think it does change the perspective a little bit for USC, is that, listen, they got to go to Michigan in a few weeks, but Michigan didn't look as good as people think. Penn State, Notre Dame late in the year are both at home. And so, again, what we just mentioned with Texas and Michigan, if USC finishes the year 10-2, 9-3, to the point that Phil brought up earlier, I mean, they challenged themselves out of conference. They have a win that I think is going to hold up. I think LSU will still be in that 9-3, 10-2 range. Again, I think everybody thinks that, nothing in week 1 matters, to your guys' point, I don't think anybody is really eliminated in week 1, but I do think there is this scenario where these big wins and maybe potentially even bad losses could kind of stay with you all season long.
We were all taken aback, and we'll finish here on a college basketball topic. We're all taken aback by the firing of almost the entire assistant staff at Memphis. I think that was a couple of days ago, and it turns out I haven't been able to peruse over this letter of allegations of violations, massive amounts of violations apparently, but this also seems to be like this. If this would have come out 4 months ago, Penny'd be gone. It would have been fired. But in that case, not now, because then you got to open up the portal for 30 days, and who knows if you even have a team left after that. But what's going on in Memphis, Aaron?
Phil, it's weird. It's been weird. I was a guy. Listen, Memphis is one of those programs. That city loves that school. Obviously, Penny Hardaway, the name carries cachet. And I really thought about 2.5 years ago, they were finally headed in the right direction. If you remember, it was not this past, I guess it would have been the 2022 season, maybe. It was the year Arkansas beat Gonzaga in the Sweet 16. because Gonzaga the game before played Memphis, and Memphis gave them all they could handle, and there was a couple questionable calls late. Memphis could have won the game, whatever, they didn't. And so you felt like it was finally going in the right direction. But again, you just look back to the totality of this tenure. There's been a lot of turnover. It seems like every year he's basically replacing his entire roster. And by the way, that happens in this portal world, but it feels like more so there than other places. The coaching turnover has been insane. And now to your point, Bill, and by the way, he survived NCAA stuff early on.
That's right.
Because of the IARP thing, and there was a new way of doing things for a while. So it's just been one thing after another. And I think this is probably a sign. I think this is going to be his final year. He's got probably at this point hundreds of millions in the bank, if not at least a comfortable amount of money to live on. It's not working out. There's plenty of problems. And they're not winning enough. They missed the tournament last year. I like their team this year. Don't know that I love them. So I'll be curious, because it just feels like the beginning of the end for a program and a team that has been just so up and down and so many questions over the last couple of years.
AT, you're a good man to join us on these Fridays. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right. Order some decaf, Phil, okay? Order some decaf.
It's a really difficult thing to order, but I may take your advice on it. Thank you. 877-377-6963 if you want to give us a text. Like ordering decaf is almost a painful thing to do. I don't know if I've ever said those words before. Instead of decaf, maybe just, the clear liquid with ice. Water, that clear liquid.
Maybe milk and sugar.
That could help as well. Yeah. Just add the calories on, my friend. I've already eaten 3,000 of them today. Stay with us. Halftime back at Granny's Kitchen in Stillwater right after this.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swart Liquor?
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Live at Granny's Kitchen in Stillwater. They got 4 locations. 3 of them are in Oklahoma City. This is the only one that isn't, which makes it stand out. Digestion still working. Matt Jones to my right. And we've got a member of Matt's family that's sitting here at the table. Let's introduce us to your nephew here.
Ben Faith. What's up, Ben?
What's up?
How you doing today, man?
I'm good. How are you?
We got he's rocking the Razorback jersey. So we need a prediction. What's the score prediction for tomorrow, Arkansas, Oklahoma State?
27-20.
Oh,
I like how we already know that he picks Arkansas. You didn't even have to say it.
Well, he's got his Razorback jersey on.
It's not just a Razorback jersey. That's tell what jersey is this?
It's a Matt Jones
jersey. You should see the look on his face when he says it too.
It's a freshman year jersey right there. Yeah.
That is the free with the logo right there on your neck.
That was that was freshman year right there. Year we went to the Cotton Bowl. Maybe the Hawks can make it back to the Cotton Bowl this year. Maybe you can bring them some good luck this year. That's what I'm talking about.
Are you good at the horns down, by the way?
Yeah.
You've practiced this? Yeah. Doesn't take much practice. So all right, you're from Stillwater, right?
Yes, sir.
You're born and raised here. This is your hometown. Are you usually a Cowboy fan on Saturdays?
Yes, I am.
So you would
Cowboys are your second team, right?
Yeah.
You'd usually be wearing orange today, right?
Yes, sir.
You're going no. He's lucky. Ben got out of school in order to come here. Matt's father, Steve, brought him over here. So you're lucky you got out of school. What are the kids saying to you when you're wearing a Razorback jersey at a Stillwater public school today?
They just don't say much.
They know what's up
because they're afraid of you. I understand that.
They know what's up. So what are you doing for the game tomorrow?
Family's coming over. We're gonna watch it. Probably make some bets.
Ooh.
Oh wow! What's your favorite? Are you doing props? This is just amongst family people here, right? You're a little too young to actually open up any of those apps. So you're going to do all sorts of props then. That sounds like fun. They know how to watch a football game. Food?
Yeah, food.
Are you cooking?
No.
Never.
Probably just pizza.
There we go.
That works for me.
What are you going to be looking for? So when you watch the game tomorrow, what positions do you like to watch?
I like to watch the quarterbacks and the running backs.
How do you think the matchup would be? So you've seen the Oklahoma State quarterback, and then you've seen Taylor Green one game. What do you think? Who has the better quarterback? How do you think that matchup's going to go?
I think Taylor Green has to play a good game. Yeah, I think Taylor Green's better
There we
than Alan
go.
Bowman.
It's always good when you have the better quarterback, Phil.
He's more dynamic, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Bowman's not a runner. He's really just an experienced guy that the offense works for him. Green seems like, and we've only seen him for one game, but in that one game, he made a couple of plays that I'm not sure if many other college quarterbacks could make. What do you play?
Quarterback.
Of course. So that's the position you're going to do. You play any defense at all, or are you on the offensive side?
Yes, I play cornerback too.
Quarterback
go.
and cornerback.
When's
So
y'all's next game?
Thursday.
Thursday. All right.
what's more fun, completing a pass or knocking the ball out of somebody's hands?
Completing a pass.
See, all right, so we know the side of the ball he's going to go on here. Matt told me he didn't think he was going to be a defensive player because you're not a tackler, right?
You know, that's half the reason why I was running so fast was because I didn't want to get tackled. That's right. Where's the contact at? I'll go this way then. Yeah.
So now you were at a practice yesterday, right, Matt?
His brother, Jeb, you didn't show up, huh? Yeah. How's Jeb's team doing this year?
I think they're going to be pretty good.
They're going to be pretty good. His brother tore his what was it, the elbow socket?
Something like that.
Yeah. So he can't even play right now.
That sounds painful.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That
He
sounds-
fell off the pool. He fell off of a
He
pool.
was playing. Yeah.
It's always around pool.
You're supposed to be an athlete in this family. I wonder about the blood range now. You know, we don't fall off pools in this family. All right. All right.
Slipping and falling,
Yeah.
slipping. You know, got if he was wearing cleats, if he was wearing football cleats on a football field at that moment, he wouldn't have slipped and fallen. Would have been okay. Well, you got to be pretty fired up to have this game then. I mean, you know, these teams haven't played since 1980. I was 3. Matt wasn't even alive.
Wasn't even thought of.
This is I know we've got 3 more games left on the contract. I think it's 27. The Cowboys go to Fayetteville, and then 2032 or 33.
He might be quarterback in 2032 or
True.
2033.
Are you ready to be a quarterback for one of these teams when they actually play in 10 years?
He might be there.
Sounds like a pretty good.
Yeah.
What's your age?
I'm 12.
12. So in 9 years, 21. Absolutely.
Yeah, he could be running. We might have him on. You have to come on again with us though. Even if you're the quarterback at Oklahoma State, we'll still have you on.
Well, you got to be good for us to keep you coming on, though. All right. 'Cause if it's about recruiting, we've got to make sure you've got at least 3 stars next to your name. That's just a joke, though. But good. It's kind of nuts. I really wish these teams would play more. Now, I don't know if you can. You know, you schedule so far ahead, and we still don't know if this league eventually will go to 9 games. But, you know, if you got to schedule the Power 4 team, it makes a lot of sense to schedule the one that's closest to you, right? You got to bust it. I mean, think of the money they're saving in an era now where they're actually trying to save money so that eventually you can pay the players.
Yeah.
Do you realize how – I don't even know the answer, but do you realize how much money a team saves by not flying and busing instead?
What it probably costs 6 figures just to start the plane up, you know? So, yeah, I mean, it's
It's easy logistics in that case. Well, Ben, did you eat? Is this a place you usually come and eat? Granny's?
No, I've only been here twice.
I'll bet you've got the appetite of 5 men that are already finished with their food here.
all day.
So I'm sorry I gave the rest of my plate to the waitress and she took it away. You probably could have cleaned it and then licked the plate. Do you have a favorite thing here? Or a favorite breakfast food? Or is it
Biscuits
just
and
pizza
gravy.
all the time?
Biscuits and gravy is my favorite breakfast food.
It pretty much comes with everything.
And it doesn't stick to him yet, so he can
Not
eat all,
yet.
he can eat all he wants. That's right.
Still, all that time outside and running and everything. You know what happens in about 30 years? That gravy eventually stays with you and doesn't leave unless you do something about it.
But
Does it sound like
fun?
fun?
If you're going to be a quarterback, you got to have a little pudding. So keep eating it. That's right. Keep eating it.
You always he points out, and
gotta
maybe
have
you
a
need to
little bit.
do something about this because maybe you're a little too skinny to be a college quarterback at some time. He talks about a quarterback needs to have a little bit of a pooch.
Those D backs, the linebackers, the defensive linemen, they like to hit. So you got to be protected. That's why you notice Eli Manning, he got a little bit, never got hurt. You know, him and Peyton both set records for consecutive games played.
Talon doesn't have that, Pooch.
Well, he's an athlete. He'll probably deliver the blow, so he's right. Well, he's okay. But it's as you go older, as you get each level, you got to kind of start protecting yourself because those hits add up.
Well, it's also like the guys that played yesterday. Mahomes might have a little bit of one there,
Yep,
right?
He's got some.
Lamar doesn't have an ounce of fat.
He's Michael Vick still. He's reincarnate. He's a better passer than he just gets back. You don't know what he's doing. He's like a little scat back. Like he would be. A slot, he could play multiple positions on the field. He's such a dynamic passer from the pocket, and then he can just do everything else.
Do you have a favorite NFL team, Ben?
The Houston Texans.
So you're a big CJ fan, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, is this going to be the year?
Yeah, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Who's your soccer team?
Liverpool.
Ah.
Is that because of your uncle?
No, I just started watching.
Yeah,
them.
his brother likes Tottenham. Yeah.
Do you wake up at the early hours and throw on a soccer game like Matt does?
That's right.
Not usually.
Not you, but
I watch it when I can.
Eventually, at age 12, he wasn't watching soccer
That's
either.
right. That's
then
right.
again, back then, nobody in this country was watching soccer.
That's true.
So I'm sure at some point you will. You got him brainwashed, Matt. It's okay.
Hey, the best athletes in the world, they play defensive back and they play soccer. That's how it goes.
Carl likes that I said Jeet. Did I say Jeet? Now, that's not Southern language. Carl thought that's Southern language. They say that where I'm from. They say that in Pittsburgh. It's Jeet here. Jeet? Jeet yet?
Jeet.
Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what that means. Jeet yet? Did you eat yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, here's part of it. Your grandmother was an English teacher, so you're being very, very strict on how you speak, aren't you? Especially when you're around Paula J.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Now, who would win in a race with you and Matt these days?
Probably still him. He's probably got me by a little bit.
I don't know how fast my golf cart will go. It might. We'd have to start it up. He might have to give me a 5-yard head start.
Well, here's how we'll do it. He gets to eat 2 hours before the race. You have to eat 5 minutes before the race.
Ooh.
And it's got to be the biggest plate of food here at Granny's Kitchen.
That sounds like your boy when you were talking about, was it Ty and your other co-hosts that had their
SmackDown.
They had their contest, but one of them decided to eat right before it.
The pre-eating contest appetizer was not a good idea. He thought he was priming the pump, and all he did was block the pump. Didn't work very well for him. Ben, it's great to meet you, and thanks for being brave enough to come on the show here, where you knew we were just going to jack around with you for 15 minutes.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
You're
Hey,
welcome.
good luck Thursday.
Thank you.
If they're not making fun of you, they don't care about you, okay? Remember those words. 877-377-6963 if you want to get with us here on Halftime. Be at Joe's Grill and Cantina tomorrow for Arkansas football. That's where you want to watch the Razorback game. That's where you want to watch any big football game. Joe's has new game day appetizers. Build your own nachos with Southwest Chipotle and jalapeno peppers, or build your own guacamole. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina. Best place to watch the games. Enjoy pitcher specials on select beers, margaritas. They got $2 Busch Light drafts. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 74th Street in Fort Smith, across from Harps, joesfortsmith.com. We'll wrap up our first hour of halftime in just a moment.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
This is Halftime.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
This is Northside head football coach Felix Curry. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Hi, this is Ricky Smith, head basketball coach for the Northside Lady Bears. I dial 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Football and fall, what a great time of the year. It's also a great time to take advantage of York factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
If you're interested in continuing your involvement in high school athletics and want to make some extra money, what better way to do so than by becoming an official? For information on how you can give back to student athletes in Arkansas, please contact us at 501-955-2500. Again, that's 501-955-2500. The Arkansas Activities Association is looking for sports officials, and you may be the answer.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Walk 10 miles on the mile and say, please, ain't no doubt about, baby, it's you I please. I wrestle with the line, girl, it's fair, it's my life, baby, but that tough enough, that tough enough, that tough enough.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Well, Arkansas is going to be down one wide receiver for the rest of the season. Jaden Wilson announced earlier today on his Instagram that he is leaving the Arkansas football program. He did get out there for 8 snaps. Saw in a tweet from Mason Choate. So got in one game this year. Last year played in all 12, 199 yards, a couple of touchdowns. He's leaving the team. He says he still wants to play college football at the highest level.
Well, absolutely. So I need to understand the NIL deal now. That's a question. That's an honest question I have is if a guy makes it, is it like opening day roster for NFL? Then you get all, what does he have to make it to get all his NIL money? Because it's such a bad look quitting on your teammates. Like I don't want you on my team if I'm another team. It's like, well, why did you just quit on your teammates in the middle of this? You went through camp, you did all this, and you just quit on your team. Like so going forward, he wants to play. I find it hard but Connor Stallions found a spot, so somebody will probably take him. But I'm just saying that's a red flag when it comes to, where do you want to continue your future? How do you quit on your teammates?
So I saw where Stallions is now the acting head coach of that high school team now, because the head coach yesterday had a mild stroke.
Oh, my goodness!
And they've moved Connor Stallions into the role as acting head coach for now, interim head coach, if that's a proper term for high school football. I don't know if is this like failing upward, or getting caught.
You got to wonder if he spiked his Gatorade bottle, but this time, you got to see if it was induced by something. I don't know how close. I mean, how much do you trust a guy like Connor Stallions
to be your acting head coach,
to even have a sit down and talk to or anything? 0%. So I don't. That's just a weird look from the beginning.
Another thing about Wilson, like I know he was on the depth chart last year. He was
talented.
somebody that looked like there was
good.
something to build by, but you haven't seen him on the depth chart yet. Not on the first 2 games. It feels like I think in the coach's eyes he's been surpassed by Jordan Anthony, by Monte Harrison, guys that I think we're probably going to get some more snaps than him. So that's also got to be part of it. But that's also, to your point, Matt, like if you commit to being part of a team at the start of the season, shouldn't that be independent whether or not somebody's passed you up on the depth chart?
You keep working. Injuries happen. Things happen. Keep working your craft. Go give the scout team a good look, and then if you want to transfer, the coaches put in good word for you. It's just you go to a good spot. I just don't think anything's gained by quitting on your teammates.
So, and he's obviously not going into reasons why he's decided to do this. Just says, respect this decision. I truly believe it's best for me and my family at this time. So, Jaden Wilson, no longer on the Arkansas roster, and that announcement came a little about an hour ago, and he's not even on the team roster page any longer. So they hit the delete button pretty quickly on ArkansasRazorbacks.com. 877-377-6963. Anytime you want to get with us. On halftime today, we'll be visiting with Jason Carroll from OSU Max, talking about the Cowboys, a team that he covers and has been covering for, I think this is his 3rd season covering
the
Cowboys.
He owns the place. He owns Stillwater by this time, right?
Look at all the orange.
Yeah.
He just traded in his red for orange.
Yeah.
He's looking good.
Yeah, he is.
Stay with us. We'll be back for our second hour at Granny's Kitchen in Stillwater after this top of the hour break.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine, a very slight chance of seeing a shower or storm, a high in the middle to upper 80s. Clear skies tonight. It will be cooler and less humid, and overnight low in the mid to upper 50s. Sunshine on Saturday, a high right around the mid to upper 70s, and Sunday, plenty of sunshine, high temperature Sunday in the upper 70s to low 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios.
Streaming on hitthatline.com. You got to take it here. That's the perspective. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah. Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
One Razorback is vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Back on halftime, a minute after the top of the hour on ESPN. Beautiful day here, and it's going to be a perfect day for a game tomorrow. 84 degrees, slight breeze, no real chance of rain. Did we just have a business lunch walk in front of us? When 15 people walk in front of you and they all have name tags on and they're going to the same room and they look like they belong together and they look miserable because they just left work, that's got to be a business lunch here at Granny's Kitchen. But I'll tell you what, they're the only people in here that look miserable, and by the time they get their food, they won't be anymore. You know how you can tell that you're in a restaurant where the food is great and you're going to be served properly and you're going to be treated right? The employees look like they enjoy what they're doing, and everybody here is as friendly as anything, so they must take care of them. They even sing while they work in some cases.
Man, it hit the spot here. This is that mimosa, then had that I'm still not over that bacon they had, that spicy bacon.
You can order more of it.
You have to. I did. You have to order that when you come here for sure.
You can order more of it, and then more of it, and then more of it again. What are you going to do later? You got a football practice at 5? You got a game to worry about tomorrow? Why not?
Never stop working. That's right.
Jason Carroll has sat down across from us. He's actually been here for about 30, 35 minutes. Former sports director at KNWA. And now what is the position officially at OSU?
General
Max?
manager.
Wow, that means you run the thing. That means everybody
it's me
answers,
and one other guy, so I don't know how much I'm running.
You answer to yourself then, okay?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
What-
Sometimes I don't answer to myself well.
It's a little different for you this this Saturday, isn't it? I mean, you are Arkansas through and through, Jason. You went
Until
to school
tomorrow.
there. You covered them. You've lived Arkansas athletics for your entire life, and then tomorrow happens.
Tomorrow happens. Got a taste of it in 22. I didn't
That's
like
right.
the taste of it in 22.
That was the regional. That was the Stillwater regional. That was, just a month or so after you had moved here?
I moved here in April, so May, June, a couple months, yeah.
You didn't know how to take that then. I mean, but now after a couple of years, you're full cowboy. You never go full cowboy, but you've done that. You've done that with all the orange that you got on right now.
I have 5 times as much orange than I do red.
He's almost.
Because I wear it every day.
He's almost like reverse Ben, your nephew.
That's right.
He's doing a little reverse in that.
Opposite day. Yeah. So how is Oklahoma State this year? You really think they're a top 20 team?
I do. We'll see how it plays tomorrow, but I mean, you have so much back, and so many people make Ollie Gordon the central figure, and he is because he won the Doak. But you as a quarterback, you want to have 3 to 4 really good wide receivers to throw to, and they're as solid as they come. You've got a big physical guy. You've got a guy that's kind of physical. And
knows how to run it and knows what you got to do and how to adjust when you need to.
throw those numbers out from last year, because last year was a giant cluster. I had Tom Murphy ask me what happened last year. The first 3 games, they had no clue what they were doing at quarterback. They didn't know what they were doing at running back. He's like, how does Ollie Gordon get 3 carries against South Alabama? Well, Ollie Gordon got 3 carries against South Alabama because they were playing 3 quarterbacks, a couple running backs, and they didn't really know. They chose to make Allen the guy at Iowa State and make Ollie the guy at Iowa State, and then the rest was history, and you go on and win 10 games. This year, Allen's worked a lot and has improved his skills, and you become game managers, maybe not the right term, but he's a guy that's not going to make the same mistakes he made last year.
How has Gundy been able to stay successful and stay at one spot? What's his secret?
Culture.
Yeah.
Discipline and toughness. That's what they preach. That's what he's preached for 20 years now. And, you're going to have your down years where you don't win 10 games, don't win 9 games.
It's the nature of being at Oklahoma
But he's
State.
gone to 18 straight bowl games in 19 years leading into this 20. So it's just about building the culture and not changing what you believe in, and you just keep preaching it every day. And then from there, you go win games. And they've been able to recruit pretty well for what this is in Oklahoma State, and, had some guys go on and play in the league and be successful. So
it's such an interesting league because you think of, nobody really thought of like Kansas State very much until Bill Snyder turned them into a dependable program, not like national championship level, but Big 12 competitor level. Same with Iowa State. These are not schools that you always think about with football, but now you do because of the coaches that have been there as long as they were. And I know, it's been a long time at K-State for Snyder, but that's what it is with Gundy and Oklahoma State. Now, look, I mean, they've had good teams before. They've had great coaches before, but it's all about Gundy. I mean, and for me, I know he's had dalliances with other SEC schools. I just can't.
Including Arkansas.
I can't even imagine him leaving this place now.
No, he's not going to. But yeah, he's the king of the league. But you have a guy like Kyle Whittingham who's coming in this year in this league, and he's been there a week less than Gundy has.
That's crazy.
So you got 2
and
guys.
has a quarterback who's been there longer than Bowman has been playing college football.
You go through this league, and there's some guys, and
look at him, man about town,
hey,
shaking hands, kissing babies.
That is Conley Clark, Rodney Clark's dad. Rodney lives here in Stillwater now.
He does?
Is my insurance agent.
No kidding.
Yeah, so small world, right?
All right, so he just shook a hand. We need a baby to kiss.
I don't know
I'll
about
give you a
that,
piece of my body to sign an autograph for.
Yeah.
He's your man about town, Jason Carroll.
Well, I mean, those relationships go deep. Matt and I are pretty close to the same age, and I covered Matt covered Rodney. Rodney's now my insurance agent. I mean, it's just a small world. But, you know, it's with Gundy, it's kind of crazy just the success he's had. And to be able to
Is
do
he a little underrated, do you think? Because we were talking a little bit about that.
Well, I think this whole conference is underrated.
Just you don't know about, yeah.
I mean, I think the country knows about Gundy, but the conference is underrated a little bit. And
Well, you don't know what the conference is.
well, but the conference doesn't publicize itself well enough. If you look out of the now Power 4 conferences, the only one that doesn't have a network is who? Right?
Because it used to be the Longhorn Network.
So
they need OSU Max all over the place,
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah.
You need more than 2 people, probably.
Yeah.
Speaking of 2, we got a couple of all-stars on hold who I'm sure you'd like to hear from. Charlie's with us first, 877-377-6963. Good afternoon, Charlie. What's Charlie doing today?
Well, Charlie is surprised you are throwing me in the fire with an Oklahoma State guy on the phone. But I will say this. I definitely
There's a thin underlying of Arkansas skin in there, though.
You can feel him tamping it down a little bit, but it's there.
Little, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and he's right. What's the it's like 2.5 hour difference between Fayetteville and Stillwater. How long is as far as it apart?
From campus to campus, it's about a 3-hour drive.
Okay. Well, you know, Matt, I heard you say BYOB. So anyway, I do want to say this.
He meant biscuit. No, it's a breakfast place. It's not
Talking
biscuits.
to the stadium. I was talking to
how
the game's going to be, the atmosphere at tomorrow.
Man, it's gonna be crazy, and I know Oklahoma State's stadium is kind of real small. They're right there on top of it. I wanted to, ask, last week obviously Oklahoma State played against in my opinion, way better opponent than Arkansas did. But obviously they're experienced. Let me ask you this about Bowman though. I think any quarterback, when you speed his process up. To me, that's the key for Arkansas. They're going to have to get after him a little bit. They're going to have to hit him, and whoever protects their quarterback better and runs the ball better tomorrow, I think probably wins this game. And if somebody does make a mistake, you better take advantage of it. I don't think neither team is going to make many mistakes. I don't think they're going to get penalized a lot, and I don't think we are. It's just going to come down to a few things here and there. I think this will be like a slobber knocker, like Sam said. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Charlie. He's right. I mean, when you describe a game as a slobber knocker, it's going to be about who can run the ball.
Well, there's part of that. There's part of that, but this thing could potentially come down to special teams. It could come down to field goal kicker,
and we don't know enough about.
That's. I mean, these teams, if you look at them, they have a lot of the same type players across the board, and they're going to do a lot of the same things. I don't know enough about Arkansas's roster, and I don't know if people really do yet. Based off of what happened in week 1. You see talent. You know they're better. Tomorrow's going to show it for both teams where everybody's at. But special teams can come into play, and you didn't have to kick field goals last week. So how's that going to come into play if you have to do that? The atmosphere is going to be fun tomorrow. I wish it was a night game.
I'm all right. I'm all right with 11 o'clock.
I know
in the morning.
you are because you get home.
No, I mean nationally, I like that it's on ABC. I mean, you're getting good games 11 o'clock in the morning
here
now.
when it's pitch dark outside and the stadium's it's a fun atmosphere.
Some of the darkest places I've ever been are night times in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
just not in Tulsa or Oklahoma City.
It's really dark, and then you just have the light right there at the stadium. It's kind of a cool deal at night.
Here's Eduardo. Eduardo, I've had some hog delight today. In fact, they actually have something on the menu here at Granny's Kitchen called the pig biscuit. I think that would be another form of hog delight, so maybe they need to name something after you here.
I tell you what, I'm so excited about this game. A thriller in Stillwater, baby, and we're going to tie it on. Let me say this. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. There's a recipe for everything in life. And we're a balanced football team this year. And I think it's Bowman that's going to be eating turf all day long because we got the defensive line to do it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I'll tell you something else what we're going to do. We're going to shut down Ollie Gordon. Whoa! I'm getting ready, baby, because we got the defensive line to do it. And I can't wait for this game to take place. As I called in last week, I went, woo, baby, I'm getting ready for this game. You know, this is a game, what's it been, 40 years or more since we played, but I believe we've had the better of the Cowboys. Let me say overall, we're 30-15-1 against the Cowboys. Make that 31 when we leave. Whoa! Tickets filled tomorrow, baby, because the heater's coming.
It is coming. I love how you leave me a little pause there, too, Eddie, to jump in. We've trained him properly over these years. Eddie's got his Saturday game on face on today on a Friday.
Oh, how I miss old Eddie in Clarksville.
Yeah,
I still remember the time I met up with him at AT&T and got him enjoying his first experience at AT&T Stadium.
He was detailing a meal that he sat down next to Chuck Barrett and had together. It's a photo. That's a meal that I'd like to be a fly on the wall for, or a fly in the soup.
Did Chuck get a word in?
Imagine both of them trying to get a word in at some point, right? You mentioned Bowman. Do you get a look at Alan Bowman? And maybe that's the kind of quarterback he is. He looks like Andy Dalton. He's got the red hair. He's got the red hair and everything.
Texas boys, a little bit, yeah.
The Rustin rifle.
That's right.
Or the Rustin rifle, that's Scotty Thurman.
Scotty Thurman.
The red rifle, there we go.
That's what he's called.
Yeah.
And he where did why am I forgetting where?
TCU.
That's where I was going to say Texas Tech, so I knew it was one of those schools. But Bowman went to Texas Tech. That's where he started. 877-377-6963. We do have another segment with Jason Carroll, and we'll do that in just a moment on Halftime.
This is Halftime.
Looks like Clark Kent. This guy is dominating offensively. Indeed, he's also a quality guy. We had more fun talking with him. He was a walk-on. Now he's an All-American. He also is brilliant. He's a great student. Last week he got his MBA. The guy is just what college football is all about.
I've been called everything. Clark Kent, Kurt Rambis, Drew Carey, you name it, I've been called it.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nuys work to give all of their patients a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5501 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farm. Now offering same-day crowns. 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Pay attention. This happens fast. Routine, scheduled, maintenance. You know it's coming one day, but that day's in the future. Then the future comes, and your wallet's not ready for that $250 maintenance. But your forklift is. It needs it. Good thing you're smart. You're buying a used forklift from Medley Equipment Company this summer, and its first planned maintenance will be free because Medley keeps you moving.
I'm branch manager Dennis Mabry. Visit medleycompany.com or see us at 4001 Harper Avenue, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality, price, and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crick hopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crick hopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crick hopper.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster. And in the past decade as a roofing contractor, he knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
OSU Max General Manager Jason Carroll also with us here on Halftime. And we've got Stanley who's giving us a call from Diggins, Missouri, right on our hotline. Stanley, appreciate you calling. What you want?
Just real quick, and then I'll let you guys take it from here. But I just wanted you to know, you, Phil, and Matt, I'm preparing to head to Stillwater, and I want to share with the listeners what I got cooking up today. First off, I woke up in my parents' basement, got on their Gateway desktop, and printed directions on MapQuest. So I'd have a fuel-efficient trip in my dually, if you know what I'm talking about. So shout out to Ron and Melinda, and they changed out the ink cartridges for me. Now, I want to get down to business real quick, gentlemen. Here's my checklist for the post-game celebration in Stillwater. I got my batting gloves. I got my aviators. Last but not least, I got my cheetah print Speedo pack. Back in my day, MC Hammer and Coach Prime did a song called Pumps and a Bump, and I plan to reenact it at Eskimo Joe's. So I got the Hogs winning 27-24 with our D coming up big. Ball security is paramount, gentlemen. Woo pig.
All right, Stanley, we'll see you at Eskimo Joe's after the game. Ty told me he's got some very interesting things planned if Arkansas wins the games, and he's going to be there too. So good luck, Stanley. So I think he probably got some Crystal Pepsi or some Surge in his car while he's driving out here from all the way out there. This would be the late 90s stuff, I guess, right?
Yeah. Like Crystal Pepsi may have been gone by then, but yeah, Surge for sure.
That's the one we got to bring back. What is the environment like here?
It's really good.
Eddie said it was like a small stadium. This is an NFL-sized stadium.
It's you got 50. So here's how I would equate it, right? So think of Razorback Stadium, lower level, no upper deck, right? And it's kind of it's configured the same way a little bit. The noise here, though, stays in a different way than it does at Razorback Stadium. It just does.
Is it like a War Memorial and it kind of hangs around in there? I just mean the noise level.
It's better than War Memorial. The fun thing is the paddle people.
What's the paddles?
So the paddles, there's the front row of students section is the paddle people. So right before the defensive play, they paddles against the padding on the wall. So it just creates a little fun atmosphere around the defensive side of the football.
Sounds like Mississippi State and the Cowbells.
It's not nearly as annoying as the Cowbells.
Do they have Christopher walking up on the video board saying, "I need more paddle"?
No, there is no.
Because they do in Starkville. Just a different word that they throw out there. Tell me about where's my notes here? This Brennan Presley, tall receiver.
He's not a tall receiver.
Well, he's a guy
he is 5'6", 5'7", and a playmaker.
Gundy has pointed out how he helps them develop proper numbers in the box. It sounds like he's really difficult to cover.
He is really difficult to cover. And then they added a piece right behind him in Gavin Freeman, who transferred in from OU, who's a freak athlete. They call him G Freaky. So when Presley and they had a couple sets with them last week where both of them are in the game. So you got two dynamic, quick, small guys that can make plays. But Presley, he's a superstar, smart kid from Bixby, Oklahoma. And
was he one of the guys who was a teammate of the Haas
no,
brothers?
he was gone long before them. But he is his brother may have been a teammate of the Haas brothers, and his brother was here for a year and then went to Tulsa as a receiver, running back at Tulsa now. But yeah, Brennan is the consistent guy that's been here for a long time and a really good guy, really good receiver.
How would you describe Ollie Gordon's running style? Like, what other running back would you compare him to?
Well, like a lot of comparisons are Derrick Henry.
Okay.
But to me, the guy that I covered, Darren McFadden, he doesn't have Darren's closing speed.
Yeah, he was a 4.3 guy.
But he can break away, and man, his lower half has gotten so much bigger, and so you can't arm tackle the guy. Or he's going to break through and have – he led the country with 13 broken tackles last week. And
wow. Yeah.
So, he's a very physical runner that'll come at you, but he can also make you miss. And so he's a really good guy. But, like I said it on Bo's show yesterday, I mean, 22 for Arkansas and Ollie know each other, and Ollie thinks highly of him too. So I think it's going to be a good battle with the running backs tomorrow.
But it's also like that when you have the numbers in your favor with a running back like Ollie Gordon, it's like you got a 10-yard gain already right there in front of you, because you want to keep him in small spaces.
Well, it's confidence, and then your offense feels like you can do everything you want. That's the whole thing. If you can run the ball, then you can do anything you want on the offensive side. And I think to his point, if we can get our running back going, you know what it does? It limits their possessions. We need to control the ball. We need to keep Ollie Gordon off the field. So if we can run the ball, establish the run game, I think that's advantage Arkansas.
Well, and that's why I think these teams are close to each other. And just personnel, there's still unknowns in how Arkansas is going to react to pressure and stuff tomorrow. But, I mean, realistically, both teams have really good receivers. I don't know enough about Arkansas.
Our best receiver might be out.
I think Armstrong's playing.
You think he's going to play?
He was at practice the other day.
Okay.
We're getting texts in here. The line's gone up in Oklahoma State's favor by 2 points. It's now at 9.5. It's been 7.5, and folks are thinking that there's some injury that nobody's reporting because we don't have to report injuries for this game.
I don't know anything about that.
I'm sure you
Arkansas's
don't.
End, but
it's just that's the feeling.
Or people just feel more confident in Oklahoma State.
Maybe
it's Oklahoma State at home. It would be Coach Pittman's biggest win as Arkansas head coach.
I think they're 23-3 in their last since 2000 at home, so they don't lose very often. Now they lost a bad game to South Alabama last year, but
like you said, I mean, they didn't know who they were at that point.
Yeah, it was not good.
You can make a valid point about special teams. We had a caller a moment ago say, and I don't know how much to trust what he's saying, but he predicted a 3-point Arkansas win. In order for that to happen, that could be a walk-off field goal from a kicker who hasn't had to kick yet. You haven't had to rush him out there at a moment's notice. Like the Mississippi State game last year, like A&M the year before. You got to be out there really quickly. You got to know what you're doing, and you got a different snapper now. I mean, keep in mind they have a different long snapper.
We still haven't punted yet this year.
Punted.
Yeah,
so I mean, that's right. They know who their kicker is. Arkansas does too. They haven't had to put any of that in motion yet.
Well, and again, I go back to Taylon Green's almost unforced error last week when he threw it deep on the first play. Does Oklahoma State get pressure on him and force him into some of those? Does Landon Jackson and some of the line get pressure on Bowman and force him into some of the same mistakes he made last year? Some of those keys, you just don't know how it's going to play until you get in the game and start seeing how guys are going to react to certain things. It's going to be a fun game, and we'll see what happens.
We had some texts in to say they're just happy that they don't have to hear about Rock Riggio during this football
I'm
game.
just telling you guys, I know Arkansas fans hated Rock, but Rock is a quality guy that likes to have fun.
They'd have
one of
loved
the
him if he was on their team. That's for sure.
They would have loved him if he was on Arkansas's team, and he almost went to Arkansas. You know, one of the things that has been good for me, because in the media you get to meet guys and you get to interview them and do some stuff, but you're not around them all the time, right? Like I have the fortunate luxury of being able to walk or go up one floor in the elevator and go walk up and down and talk to any of the coaches that I want to talk to about anything you want to talk to about. You also build relationships with guys. I've got 3-year relationships with guys like Colin Oliver. I've got Ollie Gordon and Brennan Presley and all those guys. You build relationships with them. And so you get to figure out these guys on a different level than just, oh, hey, you're a football player, right? And so that's been good for me. And that, like talking about Rock, you don't like Rock in the way he plays, but if you got to know Rock the person, then you would really like a guy like that. So
well, that's what happens when we're making up our minds of who somebody is based upon what they do between white lines.
Yeah.
It's a difficult place to be. So that means, is it all right if we say that you're on the propaganda side of it then? Because if you're 20 minutes, you're held to 20 minutes, you're going to report everything you see, right? Everything you see, the guys who aren't playing and all of that. If you're allowed to be at practice the entire thing and build relationships with them, you're coming from a different perspective. And it's a perspective of the story that they want to tell. And I'm not saying that in any negativity or any judgment or anything. It's it feels like you get a chance on your end, and it's the same with the Hogs Plus people, to build relationships with coaches and players in the way that, like Clay Henry used to be able to, Nate Allen, all those guys. You can't do that anymore.
No, it's hard. It's hard to do it. And that's why I'm fortunate to be able to do what I do and try to tell stories of the athletes, their stories, right? What happens on the field, everybody sees what's happening on the field, and everybody reports about what happens on the field, but you get to either show things in a different way or tell people's stories in a different way than you would if you were me 3 years ago, 4 years ago on TV trying to do something. It's a different perspective.
It's also the same idea. So you're going to make up your mind of who somebody is based upon what they do between white lines. It's the same thing as, oh, this is what this person is like because this is what they sounded like in an 8-minute press conference. You don't really get a sense of a person in a press conference.
Well, I mean, I'll take Ollie, for example, right? I've developed a really good relationship with Ollie, and we were able to tell his story in a long-form 30-plus minute piece on who Ollie Gordon is, where he came from, and those kind of things, and really give perspective from people that know Ollie best. And so you do those kind of things. And, I don't know what it would have been like trying to do that with Matt back in the day.
NIL money changes everything, right?
Yeah, but I'm not paying them to do that.
Well, they're getting paid to do that. Though. That's the whole. That's the name, image, likeness.
I know Matt loved all of us back in the day.
I love everybody, man. I'm on everybody's side.
He manages to achieve something that
I want you guys to win, man.
I've never seen it before. Yeah. He's different than like Switzerland. It's not that he's neutral. It's that he manages to be on everybody's side all at once. That's
right.
Talent.
That's right.
That is real talent.
I want you to have a great day. That's right.
You too, man.
Yeah.
And you started it off perfect by being here.
I believed it. Yeah.
Jason, we'll let you go.
I gotta give a shout out
yes.
to Aaron Keith, who's, I don't know if he's sitting in his car right now clocking people on the interstate or, but he's getting ready to head here tomorrow
and punch you in the shoulder or something.
Well, between him or Crandall on the sideline, yeah, the two police officers traveling with Pittman, yeah.
Well, you can handle the punches. You got big shoulders, Jason.
Yeah.
It's great to see you.
Yeah, you too. I look forward to hanging out with you later tonight.
Absolutely. I'll be there. Bells on after a nap. Yes. All right, we'll continue in a moment. The hotline's open, 877-377-6963. It's halftime, and we are right back after this.
Oh, come on, guys. It's so simple. Maybe you need a refresher course. It's all ball bearings nowadays.
This is halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line Now.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Progressive presents Renters MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This is halftime.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
Did your 6 weeks with your kids this summer fly by? Is your ex on another tropical vacation while you're working 2 jobs to pay your child support? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Arkansas law on custody and child support has changed, and those changes could benefit you. So stop scrolling through her vacation pictures and protect your rights today. Call me at 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Your Honor, my son deserves this kid.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3001 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
You ready to unleash the beast?
Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice cold Monster and dominate the competition. Monster Energy, unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Please don't dominate the rap chat if you got nothing new to say. If you please don't back up the track, this train's gotta run today. Spend a little time on the mountain, spend a little time on the hill. Heard some say better run away, others say you better stand still. Now I don't know.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
College football Saturday tomorrow. We're going to have all your programming on ESPN Arkansas beginning at 6 o'clock with Arkansas Game Day. Ty Richardson will be hosting. We'll lead it right into the Learfield pregame with me and Rick Schaefer and Gino Bell, 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock kickoff, and then Hog Reaction afterwards. You're going to be on that too, right, Matt?
Apparently, things change. I think
Sometimes they can.
Maybe, but I'll be available.
You got all the right equipment for
I don't
it.
think so. I don't think so.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
And only one SEC versus SEC game tomorrow. South Carolina and Kentucky in Lexington. Bet Saracen as Kentucky as a 9.5-point favorite in that one. It feels like that could be a matchup of two teams where they're looking for new coaches next year. Stoops doesn't sound like he really is interested in being a college coach anymore, if he's got to raise a ton of money. And, I mean, you wonder a little bit about South Carolina and Shane Beamer. So that's the first SEC versus SEC game. Week after you get A&M in Florida, Carolina, LSU, Kentucky and Georgia, Florida A&M. So you start getting into more of the SEC games finally next week. But you do have our first league game coming up this week. Kentucky had no trouble dispatching Southern Miss. They may be okay this year. It was just kind of the way that Stoops was talking about what it takes to be a head coach right now. And South Carolina just barely slipped past Old Dominion. I know you'd said you're not quite sure about Carolina's offensive line. Well, one thing that's gotten Kentucky to where they've been under Stoops is they've been pretty good on the line of scrimmage.
Man, that's going to be a good one. That should be a battle of mid-level teams right there. You know, both teams that definitely not going to make the playoff 12. So big game for maybe one of them to end up going bowling at the end of the season.
Texas and Michigan at 11 o'clock in the morning. McNeese and A&M, that's a yawner. Tennessee Tech, Georgia, yawner. California and Auburn, a rematch from last year where Auburn went into Cal and picked up a win. And Hugh Freeze's team coming off a pretty easy win against Alabama A&M, Middle Tennessee and Ole Miss, South Florida, Alabama against Western Kentucky and South Florida in the first 2 weeks. Usually by now they've played like one of the big names, but of course it's always been in some neutral site, and they don't do neutral sites. Alabama at Wisconsin next week. Interesting. Mizzou gets Buffalo. You looked at Mizzou's schedule, and you're looking at the first 4 weeks, and weeks 3 and 4 are against two teams that have picked up surprising wins in Boston College and in Vanderbilt. So maybe Missouri will be tested a little bit more than we thought before they go into their first off week. Samford and Florida. I saw where Florida's going to start the freshman quarterback, DJ Lagway, who I think some of their fans were calling for, but, you know, it wasn't necessarily just offense that did Florida in against Miami. It was everything. They couldn't stop Miami, and who knows if they'll be able to, well, they get Samford now, but then, you know, then they get into the SEC. Graham Mertz out, hasn't practiced this week, so they get the true freshman making his first start. Tennessee at NC State. Tennessee is a 9.5-point road favorite. Nichols, LSU, Alcorn, Vanderbilt, Houston, Oklahoma, Mississippi State, Arizona State. So SEC had a losing record against Power 4 schools last week, and this week there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Power 4 versus Power 4. You know, I would think Texas has a great chance to go into Michigan and get a win in the Big House. I think Arkansas, Oklahoma State is look, I think is it evenly matched? Maybe so. Is it a 10-point spread on Betty on ESPN? Yes. I think Arkansas is closer than that. Auburn and Cal, I'd go Auburn on the Plains. And, you know, I mean, are we at the point where we're rooting for SEC schools against Power 4? Does that mean much right now? I don't know if that really means much to fans at the moment. Part of it is who you're rooting for. Who here is going to be rooting for Texas against Michigan? Like, that's if you did the SEC chant, you can't do that for Texas. It just doesn't work. Literally just doesn't work for anybody.
You got to go woo pig suey.
That's exactly what you got to do. Wow, look at this animal right in front of us. That is a beautiful service dog, white and poofy. And it looks like the dog could use a cup of coffee at the same time as everybody else here. What a cute animal. It doesn't have one of those signs on him that says, "Don't pet me, I'm working." But it would say, "Watch out, I might run you over." That thing's about 150 pounds. Matt, that dog could play nose tackle.
Go.
What a cutie.
What's that? Iditarod?
Well, he's got the right color.
Mm.
He's got the absolute right color. I didn't even see him over there for a moment. He was like hiding under their table.
He was like John Turturro.
Yes, just popped up all of a sudden and started licking a bowling ball. 877-377-6963. Chris points out starting a freshman quarterback is a hot seats coach desperation move. I don't know if I'd say it's a desperation move. It's just that's the next man up for them. If your starting quarterback isn't playing and he's next on the depth chart, well, that's next. That also, I mean, Mertz has always been at Wisconsin, and last year at Florida was, I think, like an Alan Bowman style quarterback. Don't win us the game, don't lose us the game. I think Lagway is a little bit different. Supposed to be more of a dynamic player. So, is it a job saver? Does anybody worry about saving a coach's job the second week of the season? But it's his chance to go out there and maybe establish himself against Samford before they really start getting into the nitty-gritty. Because after week 2, Florida's got their easiest game on the schedule after that is UCF. And I don't know how easy that's going to be.
Most coaches are going to play the players that give you the best chance to win. I've been around a couple coaches that don't do that, but if politics get in the way, and it's never a good thing. If politics are in the way, then yeah, he's probably on the way out. But 96% of coaches, man, they're just who gives me the best chance to win. That's who we're going to play.
Well, and maybe Lagway does give them the best chance, as I think he's rated as the number 8 player in the country in the class coming in this year. But man, that's a lot of pressure going to get thrown on him after they were chanting his name. I think it was him that they were chanting his name. That you could actually hear it on ESPN. We're going to be talking with Neil Atkinson in about 30 minutes. I got to ask him what's going on with the betting line. Not like he'll have the inside info on why it's happened, but a 2-point spread. I'm pretty sure I looked yesterday and it was 7.5 points, Oklahoma State. And I did think that, now keep in mind, when you're on Bet Saracen, that's people within the state of Arkansas that are doing the betting. ESPN's got their line, and that's national at OSU by 10. So now even the bettors inside the state of Arkansas are picking Oklahoma State to cover this spread. And here it was. I thought fans were being a little bit more optimistic. It sounds at least like those who were putting their money on it are being a little bit more skeptical about it.
Take your money from your right pocket and put it in your left pocket.
And then figure out what to do with it.
Then you don't have to worry about that.
Halftime is brought to you by our friends at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Looking for an RV for big adventures for you and your family? Well, Crabtree RV, right at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, beside the Cracker Barrel, has the perfect RV on lot. You can also get a look online at crabtreerv.com. Back to wrap up hour number 2 of halftime at Granny's Kitchen in Stillwater, Oklahoma, in just a moment.
This is halftime.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel, 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Moon rising. I see trouble on the way.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back here on Halftime at Granny's Kitchen in Stillwater, where we are digesting, and I can feel my energy level dropping a little bit. That's what happens with all these calories. You look on this roster page for Oklahoma State. They've got big uglies up front. 3 down linemen, a couple of them are 3 bills plus. Colin Clay, the former Razorback, is 330. Got another nose tackle, 345. They got me. The linebackers have some size to them. Colin Oliver, one of the best linebackers in the country, 240. Ezigbo, 245. Nick Martin, 220. Justin Wright, 240. Kendall Daniels, 235. This is a team that's got some heft to them at the positions where they need some heft. That certainly stands out from last week. And you're going to find out how physical you can be in a game tomorrow.
I haven't seen Oklahoma State play, so you're going to find out tomorrow. See if they're in shape. Maybe playing that 11 o'clock kickoff maybe helps. But I know last year Arkansas, that was something they struggled with, and you don't know what Oklahoma State struggled with if you're not really paying attention. But they lost week 2 to South Alabama last year, so We'll see if both teams are in shape, and I think the truth of the matter would be which team takes care of the ball better, which team has less mistakes, less turnovers, probably win the game.
So let's see. All right, so Green's first pass last week should have been intercepted. That would have been one mistake. You got away with that one. The next play, Jackson fumbled the ball, went out of bounds. It was a little bit lucky. You got away with one there. You would assume that one of those two plays, Oklahoma State would make that kind of play. I didn't feel like they were careless with the ball. It was just those two plays that stood out. And, man, I mean, I'd expect to see Green have an opportunity to go deep once or twice. And, that first one was just off a little bit.
Yeah, that would have been a cool play. We control both lines of scrimmage, so that's going to be we're going to see what happens there. What happens when we have back-to-back 3-and-out series and they score on back-to-back possessions?
What, you mean when Arkansas actually doesn't score on a drive?
That's what I mean. Oklahoma State could get up 10, 12, 14 points. What happens when Arkansas faces a little adversity? How do we respond to that? And the thing I noticed, and Clay Henry was talking about this, how buttoned up they were, how much attention to detail they were, how just as a group they look compact, they look like they know what they were doing, they look sure of themselves. We didn't see a lot of that last year, so hopefully they can carry that on into this game, knowing it's going to be this one's up to 11 compared to the UAPB game.
I also anticipate that OSU is maybe the same kind of team. I don't know if I'd say like button up or, they made, I would say, their share of mistakes against South Dakota State. They let some guys get past them. They allowed about 4.5 yards a carry, but they're this group that, like you point out, the loss to South Alabama last year, a lot of these guys that are on this team right now were part of that team last year too. But that's also before I think they developed what their team personality is. And here it's been I guess that would be 11, 12 games later, counting the bowl game. And they've got to be a different team than they were when they lost to South Alabama or even after week 3. And the idea that they know what they're doing too, that – the idea of togetherness, not holding hands and singing Kumbaya, but being together for 2 or 3 years in a case for a lot of these guys. In case of Arkansas, is much more built through the portal this year. Being on the road in that case as well. I mean, that's got to be a factor in this too.
Yeah, simpatico. You're familiar with each other. You kind of know each other's habits. It helps on the offensive line for sure. It helps in the quarterback receiver rooms. Once you've had the reps, once hey, once they go to this cover 2, once he's outside leverage, I know what you're going to do because a lot of these routes will be two-sided routes. It's not just, hey, you're running a curl. It's not just, hey, you're running a slant. It's based on what they're doing is based on what routes you're going to run. And then a lot of times it's a run pass as well. And so you're going to be looking at Taylor Green and how fast do they get up to the headsets, how much are they able to communicate. But getting Arkansas in the right play is half the battle.
And I'm just anticipating seeing Green put his hands over his ears quite a few times tomorrow to be able to hear Bobby Petrino, because we've seen every quarterback doing that on the road in some really loud situations of late. Golden hour of halftime coming up, our third hour on a Friday. We'll be talking with Neil Atkinson from Bet Sarazen in about 20 minutes. So an open segment is on the way. 877-377-6963. Halftime continues at Granny's Kitchen in Stillwater, Oklahoma, right after this break.
This is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Why would you wander around a warehouse store looking for paint when you could just swing by your neighborhood Ace? In addition to Ace's award-winning service, we have top-rated paint brands. Plus, our color matching technology allows us to match any color. So stop wandering and start painting. Head to your neighborhood Ace today.
Now through September 9th, buy 1 gallon of Clark Kensington or Ace Royal paint and get 50% off at your local Yeager's Hardware. Sale includes interior and exterior paint, limit 2.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westark Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westark Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Did you know that almost 80% of all advertising is spent on digital? This is Dale Daniels, Digital Sales Manager for ESPN Arkansas, and due to the growth in digital advertising, we have the opportunity for the right person to join our team. Digital and radio advertising go hand in hand, and we're looking for someone to help businesses grow with this powerful combination. If you have experience in broadcast and digital marketing or business development, we want to hear from you. Email your resume to sales@hitthatline.com. Pearson Broadcasting is an equal opportunity employer.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine, a very slight chance of seeing a shower or storm, a high in the middle to upper 80s. Clear skies tonight. It will be cooler and less humid, and overnight low in the mid to upper 50s. Sunshine on Saturday, a high right around the mid to upper 70s, and Sunday, plenty of sunshine, high temperature Sunday in the upper 70s to low 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios.
Streaming on hitthatline.com. You gotta take me here. That's the perspective. If I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Right into the golden hour at 1 minute after 1 o'clock on a Friday. Welcome back on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, C45 producing live at Granny's Kitchen in Stillwater. They're right here on South Main Street downtown. They'll be open early tomorrow. Ty Richardson will be here hosting Arkansas Game Day. They've got all the breakfast foods you're looking for, even some of the breakfast foods you never thought about before. We've been stuck on the sweet and spicy bourbon bacon, which is part of the appetizers for breakfast. You get 4 slices for just $5, and you can keep it coming for about an hour or two. But I can't eat anymore.
Yum.
Can't eat anymore.
Bring the bacon. Let's go.
So you want more bacon? All right, we'll get a hold of him and ask for a little bit more. Why not? Yes, please. 2 more orders of that. Thank you. NFL season started last night. A fantastic game. Went right down to the end. Chiefs 27, Ravens 20. guess you could say, controversial ending, whether or not, depending on who you're rooting for, who you might have put money on. Isaiah Likely's foot just ever so slightly on the white line. But he did everything he needed to do. I'm not sure if he would have been able to see it, but from what he did see from his own feet, he still challenged the officials, or the replay officials' call. So it's a kind of tough way to start the season.
Well, the other tight end, Travis Kelce's from Cincinnati, not necessarily a powerhouse. He's a Hall of Famer. And then this Likely kid in his third year from Coastal Carolina, he continues to have games like that. That play he made when he made a guy miss on a jump ball and was able to just have the wherewithal to get the ball into the end zone instead of being first and goal on the 5. It's a touchdown. I mean, he was making plays all day. It'd be interesting to see if that's Lamar Jackson's new favorite target.
I was kind of interested in their usage of Derrick Henry. I guess I was a little surprised, only 13 carries. Jackson ran the ball more. I mean, completely different styles. And, of course, you've got design runs for Lamar, but then he's able to just make something out of nothing when the play breaks down. Do you expect to see Henry get more than 13 carries?
Yeah, you want your running back to carry the ball more than your quarterback, especially in a 17-game NFL type of season. It's not sustainable. If Lamar Jackson is having 16 carries a game, he won't make it to their second bye week, maybe not even their first bye week. Running backs, it just can't do it that way. I mean, quarterbacks, it's just not going to last. That's why his strength is his pocket passing. But when he's young, he's healthy. Beginning of the season, he's feeling like a deer. He's feeling froggy. He wants to make as it goes on, as the season goes on, you'll see him sit in the pocket, and you got to pick and choose. 7 carries, 7 hits. You don't want your quarterback taking more than 7 hits in a game.
Lamar ran 16 times for 122 yards. It's average 7.5, a little more than 7.5 yards per carry. He outrushed the Kansas City Chiefs himself. When you were playing at quarterback, were you mindful of that number, 7 hits? And there had to have been moments where you're thinking, all right, like Bobby Petrino talks about, I don't think he wants anybody running out of bounds. He wants to create contact. I'm not sure if you want that from Taylor Green. But, when you see the numbers aren't in your favor, you're near the sideline, did you just decide at that moment, let's go out of bounds, not get hit?
It's all situational. It's where we are in the game. That's as a quarterback, you got to know what the score is, what's the down and distance, where you are on the field. You got to know everything that's going on. And you're up 3 touchdowns and you break a run, there's no reason to take that hit. It's in the fourth quarter and you're down 3 points. Absolutely. You got to go through contact and be a warrior right there. So everything's situational. You got to be very cerebral as a quarterback and know what's going on. That's why you need reps. Because once you're out there competing, you're just competing. You don't know any numbers. You don't know how many passes you've thrown. You don't know how many passes or how many times you've been hit. You're just out there playing the game.
Well, you can feel it a little bit, sure. Your body might be telling you a little bit about it. Don't you feel like Green's escapability will be tested in this game? And I don't know much on how good Alan Bowman is at escaping the rush and making something out of nothing, but it does feel like that should be a specialty for Taylor Green.
He's special with his legs. I watched 0 Boise State games when he was there. I'm not going to base a whole lot of what you saw against UAPB, but what I will base and what I saw is he's a big, strong, athletic kid. He's going to work on his pocket presence and his composure and having the game come to him. Sometimes if he doesn't know or he doesn't like the scenario, the situation, he'll just take off. That's the Lord's blessed him with that athletic ability. But the game will continue to come from him. I'm like you. I have no idea. We're about to find out here in less than 24 hours.
It's one of the reasons I'm so excited for this game is by next week, we really can't be saying, I don't really know. Can't go by what you saw last week. Can't go by what, we're being told by media people that are watching 20 minutes of practice a day for about 3 weeks, because we'll have something. Not only will you have something to go by, you'll have something to go by against what I expect is a good football team. So it's like the conversation begins to change next week. Like the question I asked last week of, is there anything that can happen against UAPB that can alter your how you view your understanding of this football team. And I don't know if I would say the resounding answer in that case was no. Tomorrow, absolutely. Tomorrow, like my mind ain't going to be made up based upon tomorrow. But this will tell you where you stand going into the last 10 games.
You know, are you down at the bottom with Vanderbilt and South Carolina, Kentucky, Mississippi State? Or are we bottom feeders? Or are we going to come up to the middle of the pack and have a chance to nip on the heels of a Missouri and an Ole Miss? We want to get above Florida and some of these schools that are at the bottom. So yeah, this will tell you a little bit of what to expect coming up in the SEC season. That's the thing I'll be looking at at the beginning is the offensive and defensive line. Are we able to control any aspect of that? Because if we can't control any aspect that against Oklahoma State, then the upper teams in the SEC, we're not going to be able to control that either.
Now, Pittman did say that there were some plays where Amarion Harris at left guard needed some help against UAPB. Now, there's one thing I'm not sure if you want to hear against any FCS team, but it's also the first game he ever started, and I wonder if OSU will try to target a little bit on that left side of the offensive line, not necessarily towards Carmona, but towards Amarion Harris, and try to exploit an inexperienced but talented player who Sam Pittman did say needed some help on plays last week.
Yeah, you're going to hope that Taylon Green has it figured out, and he's you're adjusting the offensive lineman to the right side and reading your keys. And if you do, somebody shoots the gap. The beauty of having a Taylon Green is he makes him miss, and you're in trouble. So everybody will be in man. Somebody shoots the gaps to a free runner. If he can make him miss, that's how you can get a really big play.
So when we had Jason Carroll here a moment ago, you were talking about the idea that you really didn't know what to expect out of your kicking game because we didn't see anything about it. We did know that Ramsey made all of the extra points, so at least there was that. But we don't know what necessarily what the kicking range would be in a game. Their kicker made a 52-yarder last week. Your punter wasn't out there either. And one thing you do feel pretty good about, though, is your punt returner. Now, although Satania did have one called back last week, still had a couple others that were pretty good. So, maybe you get a big play from Isaiah Satania in the punt game. Of course, you got to make him punt first.
Even in the receiving game, we're going to have an explosive play. You need to have one a quarter. I could see Satania having one. I can see Anthony having one. His speed, that's the thing that I noticed out of the UAPB game, out of those receivers. Satania and Anthony, their speed was next level. You could see that little burst they had. And hopefully they can continue that, and you can get those guys balls in space. And I only saw Petrino call crossers one time in the UAPB game, and I didn't watch any of the second half. So I watched the first half, saw crossers once. That's a staple in his game, and so he's going to run that. You get an Anthony, you get a Satania in space. They don't wrap up. They're worried about the running back be 88 and out the gate.
I know that Gundy was talking about how good OSU can be at developing good numbers was his term in the box. And one of the things that Petrino's so good at is getting fast players the ball in open space. And that'll turn out to be pretty big tomorrow.
That's right. I wonder who our RB2 is going to be tomorrow.
I think it's Rodney Hill.
I don't know. I wonder what happened to DeBinion, if he's healthy or what, because to me this would be such a perfect game for DeBinion to get 17 touches. His running style, the way he goes, you didn't see him much in that first game.
He played more in the second half.
But like I said, coaches, 98% of the coaches I've been around, they're going to play the player that gives them the best chance to win. Nobody's playing the guy they don't think's good enough. So if somebody's won the job, they've earned to get that playing time.
Anytime you're doing cold water bass fishing, make sure you've got the Umbrella Flash Mob Junior with you. It's the best lure, duplicating a small school of shad. Work it from the top of the water column to the bottom. Win a bass tournament, whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers. Have the Umbrella Flash Mob Junior with you. Find it at learnnet.com and tackle stores everywhere. Quick break, and Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen stops by for a visit right after this on Halftime.
All I'll say is truck, yeah.
I tell you what, I know this got a lot of guys with some big hearts. For 3 hours or however long, maybe 4 hours, we're the best team in the country today. And it's offense, defense, and special teams. It's some guys like Darren McFadden, baby. Y'all better put him in the Heisman. You better put him up there. I'm tired of him being number 4.
We got that wood right here, baby.
Somebody better look at this guy, the best football player in the country, and his name's not being mentioned. Lou Holtz, Mark May, number 5. You better look at him a little closer. He's a football player.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Pay attention. This happens fast. Routine, scheduled, maintenance. You know it's coming one day, but that day's in the future. Then the future comes, and your wallet's not ready for that $250 maintenance. But your forklift is. It needs it. Good thing you're smart. You're buying a used forklift from Medley Equipment Company this summer, and its first planned maintenance will be free because Medley keeps you moving.
I'm branch manager Dennis Mabry. Visit medleycompany.com or see us at 4001 Harper Avenue, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every Friday is Fajita Friday, featuring their charbroiled steak and chicken. It's tender, full of flavor, and comes with all the fixings. Saturdays are for endless enchiladas with Joe's homemade enchilada sauce and all the beef, chicken, or cheese enchiladas you can eat. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex, even better service. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive, and financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Thing I did just went I love the pictures on the wall, reminding me of what I lost again.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
On our hotline right now on a Friday afternoon is Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen, Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. Want to put a little wager on tonight's NFL game in Sao Paulo or any of the other NFL games over the weekend? College football, of course. Major League Baseball season is nearing the end of the regular season, and everything else that's coming up in the next few months. You got it all on your Bet Saracen app, your Apple iPhone. Download from the App Store. Android users, Google Play, the web browsers all work. BetSaracen.com. Make sure you're inside the state of Arkansas to use Bet Saracen. Good afternoon, Neil, and a happy Friday to you. What's going on?
Oh, just a few things here and there. It's the golden hour on the golden weekend when we have a full slate of football. So I'm excited about it, ready for it, and it's like it's going to be a very, very interesting weekend.
Tell me about last night with the game. It was going to be ended on a 2-point conversion if the Ravens if that last touchdown would have held up. Turns out that they call the toes out of bounds. It's a 7-point game instead of what would have been a 1-point game either way. So what did that do to the bettors on Bet Saracen?
Well, I think most of our bettors were happy with the result last night. But, yeah, that was an excited ending. It just proves the fact that football is truly a game of inches. Because I was looking at it, and it's just amazing with all the technology that we have now in the digital that they can zoom in that close and do it. And it's going to be interesting to see the additional technology, because I know they tested the line of game with the computer systems last year. So that's going to continuously evolve. But what we saw last night on the NFL, and we're probably going to see the same thing on tonight's game, is that the money that was on the outcome of the game, like the spread and the money line and the over-under, paled in comparison to what people put on all of the prop bets and the flash betting, the in-play, play-by-play. I remember the Super Bowl last year looking at the in-play ticker for that product, and it was off the hook last night. It seemed like it was more than what the Super Bowl was in play. So that just goes to show you on how ready the bettors were for that. So we got passed through that tonight. Found a few little bugs that we fixed this morning on the way the app performed. Got a few more that we'll put out this afternoon. But yeah, we'll be ready for that. And just seeing where the difference between last year and this year and where everybody's focusing on is great. And it props us where it's all at.
Well, I do want to ask about the betting line for tonight's game in Sao Paulo, which is a standalone game, not just because of it being played out of the country, but being played in a different hemisphere than ever before. And maybe even some of the players are a little nervous about why they've been asked to stay just in the hotel. Usually you're thinking, 3 points goes towards the home team. With a game like this, and I mean, I guess I would say there's unknowns just because it's in a stadium that's never held a game before. Is there anything baked into the spread because of the location, or is it strictly at this point just about team versus team and you don't worry about the locale?
Yeah, well, with this game at this point, all of that's been baked in before we even put out the line. So at this point, the line for this game has been out for several weeks. People have had the opportunity to bet it, and things like news stories and things like that could move it. But this one right here, just looking at it, I mean, the consensus right now, we've got it at the Eagles -2.5 and the over and under at 49.5. You just don't know how teams are going to react because this is such an unusual game condition for them. With travel, not being home, and we've seen that with the London games and the Germany games that we've had some unexpected outcomes when they've traveled over there, and it's just part of it. And a lot of people will read too much into some of that stuff. So, the NFL, the great thing about the NFL is to me, it's real easy to do the NFL because of all the data and official data sources that we can have access to, and we just got more, and our lines are more confident. And you can see the results of the games. We're pretty close to what the line is and what the over and under is. Compared to college, every now and then we'll miss one just due to something happens. But the decision is still played out on the field, and as we know, there's plenty of scenarios that can happen during a game that can affect the outcome.
For those that are interested in prop bets, and by now, you'll get lines out on a weekly basis, but how do the betting lines arrive at the same time that the props arrive? Because it seems if the market now is going towards where you have maybe a lot more prop bets than on the money line or on the betting line, you maybe want to get those out early. So when do those usually come out?
Well, the props are usually a little bit later. The betting line is a team, and there's a lot more variables for the betting line. When you get down to the individual props, you're dealing with individual stats. So that is a smaller market with less data points, and actually is more volatile than you look at like the point spread and the over and under and things like the money line. So props are very, very dependent on who is in practice and scouting reports and injury reports and things of that nature. So a lot of the props are not released until the day before. Now, in the bigger games, we will push them out. Or if there's nothing remarkable about a particular game, or there's no unknowns or anything along that lines, or it hasn't been an active week with injuries or anything happened in the previous game, those props will come out a little bit earlier. And it just a lot of what they do is a lot of the data providers, you can kind of see. It's almost like a game of chicken to see who's going to release the line first, to see whose model that they like to follow, and then they'll put that in their calculations and wait what maybe another book that is really good at with their modeling and put out. So it's kind of a cat and mouse game when you release the lines, and sometimes you want to be the first out there and take the early money on and see where it moves it, but then after that, you just put it out there, and then the players move it based on where they put their money. And that's kind of what it looks like. A little bit of that was happened with Arkansas line movement. But I think I've tracked down to why that line moved, correlation with the time on that one.
All right, well, so people have even texted in wondering why has the line moved so much in such a short period of time. So you have the floor if you can explain. Well,
we have a dashboard that we have access to, for that aggregates news alerts and line movement. And the only thing, it sticks up, here's the correlation, was when the Jaden Wilson announcement was made that he is leaving the team. At 9:47 is when we started seeing the line movements going from 7.5 to 8 to 9. And there's even one book that's already got it up to 11. And my Arkansas liability says, no, you should not be moving that line up right now, even after that announcement that came out about that. But me as a business decision, I'm not going to not give, when the line moves to the Arkansas bettor's favor, I tend to stay with the consensus and not give them a different line than what the national consensus is. And when you're 24 hours out, I would take the game off the board before I would go off the market line. So that's the only correlation that I see right now is the timing of when he put out that statement. You just saw the lines moving right after that, and that's just the nation consensus reading into a player leaving the team 24 hours before a big game, and that it could be overreaction. But we'll see if it levels out later on this afternoon or in the morning. In the morning, I got a feeling that line will come down just a little bit, back to closer to 8.5. But that's just speculation, unless some other news or some other story comes out between now and then.
Well, this is kind of like the weekend that you've been building everything up for the last couple of months. It's the first weekend with NFL, college regular season. You got Major League Baseball pennant race in full swing. The NBA is coming up in a little more than a month. This is the big month now. This is kind of what you've been building up for. So it's football season, Neil. You can't ask for anything more.
No, not really. And I'm nervous because, we've had to change a few of our data feeds because companies buy companies and some companies kind of backed off on concentrating on college props because some of the jurisdictions have backed off from that. So they invested their technology elsewhere. So yeah, there's a few different new data sources. Some of them I didn't get it on in time and for the college season. So here in about 3 weeks, we've got some more props that are going to be up, like some milestone props. And now the release we just did a couple of days ago, one of the things that our players are going to really love is that we added almost 50% more markets that you can same-game parlay. And those are, parlays that you want to do. Mainly, a lot of it's on player props and over and unders and different milestones. We've increased the amount of markets that you can put in a same-game parlay. In correlation with that also is used to in the past, when you had a same-game parlay and you would have like a player that didn't start or a match was canceled or it was a push, the whole parlay was void and you just returned your money. Now we can resettle that just like you do with a traditional parlay. Like if you bet a 5-team parlay and you get a push on one of the legs, we just refigure it as a 4-team parlay and do the payout. Now we're able to do that on same-game parlays now, and that's been a big ask of our customers too. And I think they should also notice that in addition to adding 50% more markets eligible for the same-game parlay, we did the same with the cash out. So there's 50% more of the markets that are available for cash out based on the game conditions and if it's being offered at that time. So those are some of the enhancements that you'll see going into this weekend, with a few more coming on once we get those tested. But it's not going to stop. There's going to be little enhancements going on for the next 2 months. Some of them will be more visible than others coming up, but we're excited about it, and we're just trying to get it right.
Neil, thanks for your time. Hope you have a good weekend, and always appreciate you coming on these Fridays.
Oh yeah, and it's a fun day, and going into this weekend, it's going to be fun. The bettors had a really good weekend last weekend, so let's see if they can do that again. A lot of cupcake games last week, so we took it on the chin on a lot of the games last weekend. But hey, that's what sports betting's all about. Everybody, good luck on all of your parlays this weekend. We know you're going to make a lot of them. And as always, bet with your head and not over it. Keep it fun and entertaining.
Thanks, Neil. It's Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen, Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. You know, if they did take it on the chin, they've got a pretty strong chin. 877-377-6963 is our hotline number for calls and texts. We're into the home stretch, and we're back after this.
If you see a possum, try to kill it. It's not a pet.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Are you interested in saving money on your heating bills and upgrading your home's energy efficiency?
Now's the time. Installing or upgrading to natural gas allows you to take advantage of high-efficiency appliances that save energy and money. From furnaces to water heaters to gas dryers and fireplaces, there's a natural gas option to fit your home and your budget. What's not to love about that? Don't wait. Call AOG today at 800-842-5690 or visit AOGC.com to learn more. AOG, energy for life.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. Westart Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westart Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drain, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center's Battle of the Golden Bottle continues into September. For the month of September, Danielle Emery, Allstate and Summit Insurance Advisors, will be battling for the Golden Bottle. Whoever collects more diapers, baby wipes, formula, and cash for Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center will win the Golden Bottle. Be sure to stop in at one of these locations to help families here in the River Valley and to help your team win the Golden Bottle. Follow Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center on Facebook for all your battle updates. Every penny counts.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Something's wrong 'cause my mind is spinning. And everywhere I look, there's a dead end waiting. Temperature's dropping at the rotten oasis. Feeling kisses from the leprous faces. Heads are hanging from the garbage man trees. Mouthwash, jukebox, gasoline. Pistols are pointing at a poor man's pocket. Smiling eyes ripping out of his sockets. Got a devil.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
I don't know how much we get into this, but it's just kind of just silly stuff. Looking at Miller Moss, his quarterback at USC, he impressed me in their win against LSU. I think he's got a lot to work with here. Apparently, though, he got in trouble with USC for a feud with a former roommate. This was from early 2022. It's funny the things that end up getting reported because of video these days. There was a clip where Moss was a freshman at the time in the LA Times story, is rummaging through what appears to be his roommate's closet, grabs a pillow off the bed, places it behind his butt, and releases what appears to be a fart. This is right out of the Los Angeles Times. This is word for word. Later suggests to one of the others in the room to take a jacket out of the closet and wasn't going to give it back to him. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like a kind of freshman jackassery, the kind of stuff that I remember seeing as a freshman in college one year. And it's just, when you're a college quarterback, it's going to end up in the newspaper, of course.
Yeah, that's a wild story right there. That does seem like a little tomfoolery for about that age. You know, that the fart jokes are funny, right? So that's
what was freshman year like for you in the dorm?
I had my own dorm room.
Lucky you.
Well, I've had my own room. I guess I was married there for a little bit, but I had you had your own room, and then you have a bathroom, and then you have somebody else. So Clark Moore was my roommate, but it's like a suite mate. You know, you share a bathroom, but you have your own room. I don't know that I would ever. I'm 41 years old. You know, to share another room with somebody, that would just be like weird, right?
What about when you went on the road? What about when it was road game? Did
Dal
you have a
Loggins
roommate?
was my roommate. You have you're not in the room. You're in the room to sleep. You know,
Right.
you're doing meetings, you're doing things. Yeah.
And then it's lights out. It's lights out.
It's lights out. Let's go play.
I had a roommate that he was considerably bigger than me. 6'5", 3 bills. Not the athletic kind either. He got so drunk. This is freshman year, first semester, first 3 or 4 months I was ever away from home. Didn't really know how to handle myself, but I think I handled it better than he did. If you can imagine me, and you know my size, I'm not the weakest person in the world, but I'm certainly not the strongest. And I don't even know how this guy got up the elevator. We were on the 11th floor, but he was so drunk he couldn't walk down the hallway. He passed out at the start of the hallway, walking right out of the elevator. Our room is at the very end of the hallway. I literally dragged this guy. I had to drag because I didn't want to leave him out of the hallway. It's my roommate. This is my new best friend. I just met him 3 weeks before, and I'm dragging him into the room. Somehow I got him up on the bed. I don't even remember how I pulled that off.
That's a good roommate right there.
Might be one of my really great feats of strength, and I didn't even do it on Festivus.
You didn't even take his pillow and pass gas in it before you put him back in there, which you would have had the right to if you would have drug him that far.
All right, JT wants predictions. I've sort of, once I got on the broadcast, I kind of feel a little awkward doing predictions for the team. And I don't do bets against the spread as far as that's concerned, too. Now, JT says 38-30, Arkansas wins. Send them in. Text them in. Call them in. We can do your predictions if you want it. 877-377-6963. He predicts 38-30 Arkansas. Now, here's the other aspect of this, too. I do feel like if Oklahoma State drops 30, there's a good chance Ollie Gordon's over 125 yards. They didn't lose a game with him rushing for 125 or more last year. Now, I don't expect that Arkansas is just going to shut them down completely. And people will say sometimes, well, we've pointed that out way too much. Look, I mean, I understand Oklahoma State is a team that's got dangerous weapons on the outside and a quarterback that they feel confident can get it to them. But it's a team that's built on the rush. It is a team that is built on Ollie Gordon and potentially being able to open up some opportunities on the outside. So I think if you can slow Ollie Gordon down, and I do think this offense is going to put up some points, Matt. I could see 38-30.
Well, if Arkansas wants to win, we better hold Oklahoma State under 30 points. And the way to do that is to control the line of scrimmage, control the tempo of the game, be able to run the ball, have more of a time of possession, be able to get first downs, and keep Ollie Gordon on the sideline. That's what you're going to have to do on this. This offense is going to have a good game, but also the defense is going to have to get off the field a little bit. It's all right to give up a few yards, hold them to field goals, and I think Travis Williams is up to the challenge.
Is this also a matter of who gets the lead and maybe how big you're able to grow it?
Who can maybe score on 3 straight possessions? Who can get a couple stops in a row and kind of get that lead? And then also who has the momentum late? I think a real big part of this game would be the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. What happens in that first – everybody will get a drive in that third quarter. What happens when you go into halftime, you make a couple adjustments, can you come out and have some success in those first 5 minutes of the third quarter?
And it's coaches that are really good at making halftime adjustments, too, if you're just thinking about the coordinators here, right? I mean, Gundy's the guy who's calling everything offensively here. He's great at making changes.
He's seen a lot of ball.
Petrino, too. I mean, it's a matchup of great minds in that sense. And if I'm looking at just the text line, and these are a lot of our dedicated listeners, they're all going Arkansas. Wes says 41-7 Arkansas. I kind of feel like Wes is jacking with us, because if there's one thing I don't expect, I really don't expect to see a game that's decided by 14 points or more. So I think Oklahoma State's a good team this year. I think Arkansas is a lot better than last year. But I don't really think that either one of these teams is that much better than the other, that it's going to be a 2-touchdown game. And look, Arkansas wasn't one of those teams that was 2 touchdowns worse than just about anybody last year until the writing was on the wall and they gave up in those last 2 SEC games. I feel like this team is better than last year's team. And last year's team even performed well on the road to a point. They didn't win enough on the road, but they competed hard on the road. It's a different team, I understand that, but I would expect that it is a good performance tomorrow and that they're in it to the end.
Well, when we blitz, Travis Williams is going to dial up a couple things. I'm happy Travis Williams is our coach. I think he'll be a head coach by 2028, if not sooner. But when we blitz and don't get to the quarterback, you have to tackle these receivers in space. If you blitz and don't get to the quarterback and that guy catches the ball and he's able to get chunk yardages, it's going to be a long day. So how our secondary, how our linebackers, how our rover, how our hog position, how those guys tackle, that might be the key to the game for this Arkansas team.
Jason in Frankfurt is on our hotline, 877-377-6963. Hi, Jason. What's up?
Hey, Matt Jones just, I don't want to say stole my thunder, but what I've been thinking as I've listened all week is there's been a lot of emphasis on Ollie Gordon, but I really would like to see that the cornerbacks be really sticky, those free safeties, not go for the interception, but just knock the ball down, get that ball to the ground. Don't get burned deep. I think that's going to be an element that Oklahoma State's going to really try to use in order to get the lead, and then they start grinding you on the ground with Gordon. That's just my thought on all this. In terms, and Matt Jones hit it on the head when he talked about the necessity of when you blitz, it's just either get the ball to the ground or get that receiver to the ground, or out of bounds, either one. But do that job really well, and you'll save yourself a few points. So, and that can be the difference. So, good to talk to you guys. Love hearing Eddie this week. Man, he's on full. He's full on, and so I appreciate it, Eddie. If you're listening, take care and go Hawks.
All right, appreciate that, Jason. Thanks. Well, here's the other thing: if you blitz, get to the quarterback, right? Do something with the blitz. Get to him if you can.
You're going to get to him a little bit. You're going to have some chances, but to have some of those chances, you got to get them in third and long, second and long situations. When they're controlling the tempo, half their key is getting the ball out quick, and it's a check with me type of thing. So it's a run, check with a pass, and that quarterback is his seventh year. He knows the offense, so they're going to be in the he's going to have him in the right play more often than not.
And we're taking your predictions if you want to get in with them. 877-377-6963. People will say they like the Kool-Aid. We got Kool-Aid on the text line. I haven't seen a single person pick Arkansas to lose. Jamie from Van Buren says 24-27, someone. But you're not allowed to go in that choice. But he's in that aspect, he's going with the same direction I am. That it's going to be tight, it's going to be close. It may come down to a game-ending field goal, but literally nobody that has texted into us yet has chosen Oklahoma State to win. So I don't know if it was like a week and a half, it was a month and a half ago, and we asked the same question. Don't you feel like it would be the other way around? Everybody would have chosen Arkansas to lose. Something's changed in the last 3 weeks. I don't know what it is, but something's changed.
We still have hope. This is week 2, and if you're an Arkansas fan, you still got a smile on your face.
It's nice to have hope.
Last year there wasn't much. From even week 2, I don't think you had. So it's been 365 days at least since an Arkansas fan has had hope in this football team, and we got hope right now.
You remember last year after the Kent State win, it was almost like the coaches had to remind people that they were 2-0 and they weren't going to apologize for the way that they got those 2 wins. Whatever happens tomorrow, if you win, there is absolutely no other way to digest it other than you beat a team that will compete for a Big 12 championship.
Coach Pittman's best win as a Razorback head coach. I would 100%, this would get my vote for his best win. If this Arkansas team goes into Stillwater, beats Oklahoma State, this would be his best win in his tenure here at Arkansas.
And who knows? Maybe if you find a way to pick off
and
a
then
win
you know
here,
what? Maybe you get a better win as the season goes on. But this could be the start to something.
That's right. Yeah, maybe you end up with a more impressive win, like a Tennessee at home, or an LSU at home, or an Ole Miss at home, or a Texas at home. It's got to start somewhere. Might as well start tomorrow. Don't forget about Cart Path Social this weekend. World-famous golf courses available to practice your game. It is Northwest Arkansas's #1 destination for indoor golf. Just costs $50 an hour for a bay. Bay rental cost covers as many people as you want, up to 6. And one person plays 18 holes in 60 minutes, so you pretty much add another 45 minutes to 60 minutes per additional golfers. Bring your own beer. They got basic snacks and beverages available for sale. You're more than welcome to bring in your own food to eat at Cart Path Social. You find them located at 122 Grant Place in Lowell. 479-619-9750 is the phone number. That's Cart Path Social, Northwest Arkansas's #1 destination for indoor golf. Back to wrap up the week of halftime in just a moment on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
This is halftime.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh-made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Have you been to the River Valley's only multi-sport facility? Then let's hang out. The Hangout in Fort Smith is the only sports facility that offers indoor tennis and pickleball, indoor and outdoor basketball, and has now added multiple soccer fields. Soccer leagues are forming soon. Did you know the Hangout also has an 8,000 square foot fitness center with bar, yoga, HIIT, and Pilates classes? The Hangout, 5400 Gary Street, or thehangoutfs.com. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Brew Pig Suey is back. The Arkansas Razorbacks Outdoor Beer Festival
festival is almost here and will be held prior to the Razorback football game on September 14th versus UAB. The festival will be held on the west lawn of Bud Walton Arena from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and features 25-plus breweries, a live DJ, local food trucks, and more. Tickets start at just $50 and include a limited edition tasting cup, unlimited pours, and more, with all proceeds from the event benefiting Arkansas Edge NIL. Visit ArkansasRazorbacks.com for more information.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
In this dirty old part of the city where the sun refused to shine, people tell me there ain't no use in trying. Now, my girl, you're so young and pretty, and one thing I know is true. You'll be dead before your time is due, I know. Watch my baby, watch his hand turn. He's been working and slaving his life away. Oh, yes, I know.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Oh, man, I feel like I've hit that part of the day. You know, up at 6, driving out to Stillwater, eat a ton of food, host 3 hours with Matt, and I might need a nap by now. I think it's about that time. It's been fun out here, though, at Granny's in Stillwater, right downtown on Main Street. Great place to enjoy breakfast foods, breakfast drinks, even those that have some alcohol in it as well.
They move it in and out here too, man. They don't make you wait too long. The service is probably I know you mentioned that earlier. I think you mentioned that in the first segment, but their service here it's been continual, and their service is amazing.
And you can tell they're getting ready to shut it down. Like, this is one of the places that they'll open at 6 o'clock, but they don't need to be open anymore after 2.
I mean, with the way they do it, I could see they probably that's all day for them.
Well, they're going to have to be very patient tomorrow because they'll have Ty Richardson sitting in in one of these 2 chairs.
How lucky them! Lucky both of them.
Exactly. Ty will be here 6 o'clock to host Arkansas game day. That'll lead right into the Learfield pregame at 8 o'clock, kickoff 11, and then hog reaction afterwards. So it's a busy day, and that makes it for an early riser tomorrow. My hotel's 30 minutes out of town. 8 o'clock air means probably like a 5:30 wake-up call. It's like hosting a morning show. Why not? Hey, before we go any farther and before we wrap the show up today, I wanted to make sure that we passed along our condolences to Matt Zimmerman, whose father passed away yesterday after a lengthy illness. Of course, Coach Z means so much to Razorback fans. We think of him with basketball, of course, but as he's been doing the Razorback Daily for years, he's involved in just about everything, which includes the football broadcast as one of the spotters for Chuck. So we'll be without Matt tomorrow, and we'll certainly have all of our thoughts going to him and his mom and the rest of his family. Texted with Z yesterday, and I know it's hit him pretty hard. He's a family man. He's always been close with his parents, and I feel terrible for him. So my thoughts are with Matt, and I know the rest of the crew, and he's one of our favorites,
hey,
Matt. So I'm
thinking of him, and I love Coach Z. I'm one of his biggest fans. I know we joke around, and I want everybody to win, but I want some to win more than others, and Coach Z's one of them.
He's an easy person to root
Love
for.
some Coach Z, man. He's the coolest.
So when I learned about that yesterday,
I hate it for him.
That hit hard.
Mm.
It really did. It hit hard. So, Matt, we're thinking of you, and we'll miss you this weekend, but looking forward to seeing you next week. Give you a big hug because I know you'll probably need it. Well, that's halftime for a Friday. Ruskin and Zach are coming up shortly, so stay tuned for that, and we'll be with you Monday to talk about all we saw with Arkansas and Oklahoma State. For Matt Jones, for Christian Johnston, for Colton 45 back in our studios, I'm Phil Elson. Appreciate you tuning in today, and that's halftime. Now get up, get out, and get better.